Hey there YouTube, what's going on? My name is Super Stoop and this is the Stupio. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on how to solo queue the diamond in Apex Legends.
All that loot looks heavy. Let me help you with that.
So, this video is for you if you're new to the game, struggling in any of the previous ranks such as bronze, silver, gold, or even platinum. Or you're already in diamond and just looking to improve your solo queue game.
Yes, let's go, come on!
And if this video is for you, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and comment as well, because that would mean the world to me. Thank you. So there's many frustrations with solo queuing, such as bad teammates and no comms, etc. We all know them. So here are the few of the best ways that I've managed to work out how to be more efficient with your solo queues, and also how to get the most out of your good games as well. So let's begin right at the very start. What legend to choose? In my personal preference, I tend to use Loba, as she can teleport away from battles quickly. She also has a black market, so she can get the team geared. So if you do have cracked teammates, she can just gear them up and they can just carry you through as well, which is great. Also, if you have trash teammates, they're going to have a little bit of an advantage with them as well. So it's all about enabling your teammates as well to be as good as they can be, because at the end of the day, they are 66% of your team. But there's many other legends that you can use as well. So what I would say is the main thing that when you're choosing a legend is to look for somebody who can get out of fights as fast as they can get into them. So obviously we're looking at legends like Loba, Octane, Valkyrie, and also Pathfinder as well. And of course, if you are just better with any other legend and you've stuck with them since day one, it's probably best to just stick with those as well. So first of all, my first tip is to always have an exit strategy. And this is useful for Apex gameplay in general, not just solo queuing. But when you are solo queuing, you have no idea how good your teammates are going to be. Yes, of course, sometimes we get absolutely cracked teammates who carry us through. Sometimes we get a perfect team where we just vibe with them and, you know, everyone gets 5-6 kills and it's a great time. But as we know, and the reason that you're probably watching this video is because sometimes teammates just aren't it. They're just not it. They either quit, they're toxic, or just absolute trash, don't want to go where you go, end up looting over the other side of the map, or not dropping with you, and it just all falls to shit. But if you do manage to get into any of these fights, make sure that you always have an exit strategy as well. Because honestly, some of the mindset that I use for this is straight up just, if your teammates aren't good enough, get out of there. Just save RP. I know it's not very fun and it's quite boring, but at the end of the day, if you're constantly losing 36 RP over and over and over, the wins just aren't going to be good enough to pull it back. It seems quite toxic, but honestly, sometimes you just have to do that. People just want you to go and risk and be the hero. The most important thing I can say is if the fight is not going your way, get out of there, regardless of if your teammates are there or not. And my second tip is probably where to drop on the map. 100% always drop on the outsides. Don't go contested looking for early KP, because that's how you're just going to lose 36 RP. Don't get dropping hot or where 5 or 6 teams are, because the chances of you coming out of that alive are super slim. Even if you do get some KP, it's not going to be enough to get rid of the 36 that you're going to lose should you die off rip. And also, it's just not going to be rewarding in the end game. At the end of the day, it's all about RP economy. So if you land in a spot 5 times with 5 teams every time, say you win that 1 in 5 times, which is obviously law of averages, and then say you go on to win that game, that's going to get you 214 RP in a platinum lobby. But if you lose that the other 4 times, that's a loss of 180 without guaranteeing that you're actually going to win that 5th fight as well. Chances are you're probably not going to. So 100% my advice, drop on the outskirts of the map, drop late, don't drop contested. Maybe if you're feeling confident, drop with 1 team, but at the same time, as we mentioned before, you don't know how good your teammates are, so you could just be losing 36 RP. If you're really having a bad day, I would honestly suggest just slowing the game down. And sometimes you're not going to be the jump master, so I will always bring up the map immediately and just ping somewhere on the outskirts that I want to go. Most of the time they will go there, but sometimes obviously you have these egotistical teammates who just want to drop hard, they want to get a KP and they want to get into the action straight away. But if you guys are diving into this position and you see 3, 4, 5 teams around you, and I will often just drop at the next point of interest, get some loot, and then maybe come and help the team if they've survived long enough. If they haven't, then, well, that's on them. And I guess it's a case where, like, would they have won those fights if, like, you were there and you were a trio? Or were they always destined to lose? I guess we'll never know, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be taking those risks when I have 36, 48 RP at stake. Third tip is don't be a hero. The problem that a lot of people have is they watch the bigger streamers, they watch the YouTube reels, and they see these insane clips. And they go out there and they think that's capable, I'm able to do that, I want to get these clips. At the end of the day, if you're grinding ranked and you're serious about climbing up these ladders, you're not out there farming clips. You can do that in pubs if you want. Also, the clips will come naturally. Don't try to force them. Don't try and be the hero. If your teammates have gone down and the banners are up there and they constantly ping in, and it's, it's a 3v1 situation, or even worse, there's two teams over there, and you think, oh, I'm going to be able to third party this, just don't bother. It's not going to work out. And this tip also goes as far as respawning your teammates as well. If you know that this team's likely to come in from that side, or it's, a heavy part of the map where you've seen a lot of people drop, then you definitely don't want to be respawning, because everybody in these lobbies are looking for free and easy KPs. And if they see that landing ship coming in, they are 100% going to aim and target you, and you could end up just losing your life as well. And also a big piece of advice is, if you do respawn them, just run away, because there's likely going to be a team coming in. Just let them fend for themselves. If they want to get in there, and that's absolutely fine. If they're good enough, they'll get out of there. But at the end of the day, you're trying to protect your RP. You don't need to be a hero to get someone else in there. And the fourth tip as well is just use your mic. Obviously, communication is important, and pinging. I know a lot of people like to solo queue and they just like to be lazy and just use their pings, which does work every now and then, but at the end of the day, using a mic at these higher tier lobbies is going to benefit you so much more. Even if you're not getting any replies back from the guys, they might still be able to hear you and still follow your command. And sometimes it's even better if they can't hear you, because then they will just follow you. And then you can play that smart game where you get to choose the fights that the team takes, and obviously choose your rotations and choose where you're going to hold up and get yourself into those final circle situations. So honestly, communication is huge. And if you don't have a mic, I would honestly look at investing in one, because it's going to be such a big thing, especially if you want to get diamond ranks and above. You're definitely going to need to start communicating. And another tip here is just simply have patience. But the way that you have to think about this is efficiency. Every single game costs you RP. You have to make the most out of every single game. Whether that's taking 20 minutes just to not lose 30 is absolutely priceless. Absolutely priceless. And of course, when I say be patient as well, that means taking your losses and not getting frustrated, and maybe taking a little bit of time away. If you're on a streak where you're just constantly bleeding RP, the teammates are ignoring you, they're dropping heart, and then you're getting killed on the way through. You're not able to rat up into those final circles. You're losing 26 RP, 36, 16, and you're just falling down the ranks. Take a step away from the computer, relax, come back tomorrow. Honestly, don't try and chase it. I've done it before. You think, right, I'll drop hot now and just try and get a big game in to gain all this RP that I've lost back. Don't go chasing your losses. Stay patient, and it will come. And the final tip today is going to be choose your fights wisely. If you know that there's a team and say like the point of interest next to you, but there's like 12 teams remaining, I would probably just leave that fight. You don't need to take that fight at all. 12 teams left, you're still in a position where you can still lose RP. Also, you've probably just wasted 15 minutes looting up as well. It's definitely not worth taking that fight at that position. Try to rotate around, try to stay away from them. At the end of the day, if the fight does come to your door, you're going to be geared enough to take that on. And sometimes you just can't avoid fights, and that's perfectly fine. But if you do have an option, take a look at the map, take a look at how many teams left, assess the situation, and just say, right, are we going to take this fight or not? Don't just hear shots and go blindly running like you would do in pubs or anything like that, because that is a surefire way on how to lose a lot of RP fast and just waste your time. And then you're just going to end up getting frustrated and losing more RP and trying to catch it up by dropping hot next game. So honestly, one of the biggest tips that I can give is just leave the ego at home. Leave the ego at the door. Don't try to farm these clips. Don't try to be the hero. Play smart, play with your brain, and play for placement, because placement is the most rewarding point system in the ranked game at the moment. So guys, those are my top tips for solo queuing in Apex Legends. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please drop a like, please comment, and please subscribe as well. It would mean the world to me. Stay tuned for the next video, guys, and good luck with those solo queue games. See you soon.